Hello, hello. Welcome to an horror console. I almost fucked it up in the last episode of the month.
Way to go.
My name is Chris, and this is your weekly podcast where we talk about books, games, food, and stuff that caught our attention during the week. Like I said, my name is Chris, and with me is my wife?
No, not yet.
Are you sure?
Not yet.
Alright, because this goes up at 1 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my still fiance, Karradyne.
That's the last time you're going to introduce me as your fiance.
I know you're going to be Mrs. Chris from now on.
I don't like the sound of that.
Well, that's too bad. That's what you get. So our Patreon is live. I know we've been saying this every week. It is because we really have a lot of books. They are overcrowding the apartment right now. I am going crazy with so many books. I cannot walk without hitting a book.
He hates me. Hey, I cleaned this weekend, and it's better.
And we need those $2 to support us so we can send you those books so you can have our problems so we don't have to walk over books anymore.
You can walk over books. Like Legos.
But yeah, if you subscribe to our Patreon, you will be probably Patreon number 5, number 6, number 7, all the way to 1,000. It's only $2 a month, and this month we'll be giving away Tony Hawk and Anxious People. This is the giveaway for the month. We will be announcing the winner on our next episode, which is going to be episode 10. This is episode 9. I can't believe it. We've done 9 of these already.
That's crazy.
I know, it's flown by, right? Shit.
Seems like just yesterday we were talking about squirrel dildos.
Frankenstein dick for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So, we got a reason to celebrate. This fucking month is finally over.
Not just that we're getting married. October's almost over.
I want to play some other games. I have so many other games that I want to play that are not horror that I want to talk about. One of them I'm actually going to talk about in a little bit.
I just want to review a random book that I didn't have planned out in some strict schedule.
Yeah. But hey, it worked out.
I mean, yeah, it was worth it.
It worked out. It was fun.
The theme was cool.
And, you know what's the scariest thing about the whole month, apart from us getting married? My family's here.
This is true. This is true. I forget how jam-packed our days are when they're here. I was not expecting to not get home until 10 o'clock on a Sunday night before my last 2 days at work. Not that my job is that hard, but I'm a homebody, and 90 Day Fiancé comes on Sunday nights.
You still haven't seen the new episode, right?
I watched the first 5 minutes while I was eating my lunch today. So I know a whole bunch of nothing.
Shit.
Oh, I do know one thing, but I'll tell you afterwards. I don't want to spoil it for the world.
Okay. So my family's here. My dad is going crazy shopping because there's Northern Tool and what's the other store? Harbor Freight.
Yeah, and your mom was telling me, like, how much cheaper stuff is here. It was mind-boggling.
Yeah, Puerto Rico's expensive. Puerto Rico's very expensive.
I almost shit my pants when she was comparing the prices of peppers.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, Puerto Rico's very, very expensive. But yeah, every time they come here, my dad always gets his Trumu, his TG
That
Lee
man,
Trumu.
he is very, like, he has, like, his routine in, like, every aspect of his life, I feel like. He has his stuff that he likes to eat for breakfast. The stuff that he likes to eat for breakfast while he's here. He's cute. It's adorable. He's going to listen to this and probably be offended that I called him adorable, but I mean it in the best way possible.
He's going to find it funny. But yeah, it's been crazy because my mom's sisters are here too.
Yes.
And it is insanity in that apartment that they're all staying at.
I was not prepared.
It is loud.
Very, very loud. And
very loud.
Very Spanish. Poor me.
Yeah,
it's my own fault.
They keep telling you that you need to learn to speak Spanish so that you can start talking Spanish with them.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 3 years. It probably is time.
I mean, you have learned a couple of words.
Yeah, I can...
Say cabron.
No! No. I can pick up on things here and there.
Yeah, that's true. So, this past weekend, I was off from work Saturday and Sunday. So, Saturday, I was sitting on the couch scrolling Facebook, and I saw a post by a local video game store.
Oh my god.
Cybertron Games. And they posted that they had copies of WatchDogs Legion. And that game comes out the 29th, I think.
So yesterday, if you're listening to this Friday.
Yeah. So I freaked out. I was like, I need to get this so I can get it reviewed in time for the podcast. And I got it. And I forgot we're doing horror month, so I can't review it. Damn it.
You can, but like next week.
So next week we're gonna have Pikmin.
You just spoiled it.
Doesn't matter. People knew I was gonna talk about Pikmin. I'm fucking excited about that game.
Well, you could always talk about it the next week or the next week. Are we gonna do a month of Christmas for December?
No,
I have a feeling you're very limited.
Yeah, I just have Frank's Big Package.
I can only read like fucking Hallmark books, and that's not my thing.
Oh God, no! I'll blow my brains out.
Nope.
So I played a lot of WatchDogs Legion this weekend. Well, not a lot, because the game kept fucking crashing on me.
He came out of the room to complain like every 5 minutes.
I mean,
the game crashed again. The game crashed again.
Like, I was sitting eating, and I look over to the side, and I can see the TV in the other room where the PlayStation is, and I see the screen just go from gameplay to blue, and it's like, the fucking game crashed again. Nobody was touching it. And my parents are sitting here eating, and they're like, what's going on? I was like, this game that I'm playing just crashed for no reason again. But apart from the crashes, which have made it very, very difficult for me to get into the game's not that bad. It feels very limited compared to what Watch Dogs 1 and 2 were. But it does have some pretty cool things going on. One of them being the fact that you don't have a main character. You have agents that you can recruit to your cause, and then you switch in between them so you can use them as characters. And they all have like their own special different abilities. So some of them have guns, some have cars, some are better at hacking, some are worse, and they have flaws, which they're funny. I have this one agent that I recruited, and her flaw is that she has flatulence. I had another one that I recruited, and her flaw was that she has severe hiccups.
That's awful.
So when you're sneaking, they might start farting or hiccuping, and you can get detected and killed because you can die really easily in the game.
That's the worst.
Oh, and there was another one that I haven't recruited her yet. She's apparently an influencer. So she's really recognizable by people.
It's me.
Her name's not Karradyne.
It's me.
Her name's not Karradyne. It's Karen.
You're kidding me. Is it really?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so she's apparently easily recognizable, so I don't know how that would affect the game. But it's pretty good. It has some really good music. I just wish it would stop fucking crashing so much so that I could keep playing it. Because I would start playing 5 minutes in, it's gone.
Do you know what books don't do?
They crash when I throw them against the wall.
Oh my gosh.
I won't throw your books against the wall. I know you love them.
Thank you.
But yeah, the graphics in the game, they are not good. The whole world and everything looks great, but the character models are hideous. They are very, very ugly. I don't know if they're going to fix that with a patch or if it's staying like that, but it surprises me because Watch Dogs 2 had really great character models. This game, they look like shit.
Hopefully they'll fix it.
But yeah, I'm going to keep playing. I don't know if I'll ever finish this. I might not. It just depends if I ever get stuck in a rut where I don't have anything to play because there's nothing coming out, like it happened earlier this year for like 6 months where nothing came out and I had to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey for 6 months, which was enough time to do everything that there was to do in the game, but holy fucking shit, I never want to do that again. It was a nightmare.
I'm trying to think about like reading the same book for 6 months.
Well, Assassin's Creed is huge, so there's a lot of different stuff to do, but
I feel like it's going to take me 6 months to read Midnight Sun.
What's that?
It's Twilight from Edward's point of view.
Didn't you start that already?
Yeah, I'm still like only 200 pages in. It's like a bajillion pages.
How many pages?
I don't know. It's a thick boy. I'm like 200 pages in and just like looking at it from the side, seeing where I am. I think it's probably like almost 1,000 pages. Stupid.
I'm good.
It's too much.
Too much, Edward.
Yeah.
All right, so are you ready to go into your stuff?
I am.
All right, so it is time for book talk.
So this week's book is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. It was published by Flatiron Books on October 8th, 2019. Bardugo is the author of another series that I mentioned back in the first episode of the month, the Grisha trilogy that you got so hung up on for whatever reason.
It's such a weird book and it doesn't make sense to what it is about. I don't remember what it is about, but I know it's not about Greek stuff.
No, it's about Russian stuff and magic.
Russians are not Grisha. Grecians. Greek.
That's why it's Grisha, not Grecian.
They need a better title for the book.
Anyway, it's not the title of the book. It's just the overarching series name because it's about the Grisha. They're elemental magic people.
All right, Avatar.
No,
All right, let's not get hung up on this again. Let's continue with the book.
So Ninth House is a pretty big departure from that trilogy and her other books. So this is her first adult fantasy novel, though I kind of view it as more like fantasy, thriller, contemporary gothic, like a blend of all of those things, if that even makes sense. It does in my mind.
That's kind of strange.
Well, you've got monsters and ghosts and hellhounds and magic and murder and CSI and drugs and grade A douchebag frat guys all in one. Does it not sound like the perfect book?
No, it sounds like a fucking nightmare.
It's amazing. It all works. I promise.
It sounds like Teen Wolf, but bad.
Oh, God.
Bad-er.
It's nothing like Teen Wolf, I promise.
Not the movie, the show.
It's far more sophisticated than that. Mainly because it does take place at Yale University, and it follows Alex, or Galaxy, Stern.
Well, we were having dinner today. You were telling me about her being called Galaxy and going by Alex. I was like, that's kind of a... It's not really a stretch, but it is kind of a stretch to get...
It's kind of a stretch.
It's kind of a stretch to get Alex from Galaxy. You need to get rid of the G, the Y, and somehow find an E to put in there.
I mean, you could technically spell Alex
with a Y instead of...
A-L-A-X. Alex.
Alex?
Alex. Yeah, Alex. It works. I don't know.
Or you can get rid of that second A and put in a Y, so it's Alex.
Oh, Alex.
Alex, yeah. Alex.
No. Anyway.
Alex.
Galaxy Stern, as she's training to be the new Virgil of the secret societies of Yale, basically making sure they all stay in line. And she was essentially only chosen for this job because she can see ghosts and has been able to since she was a child. They're called Greys in this book, as in the color, or Christian.
Oh, God. So, you said that she's becoming a Virgil.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a Dante.
She is a Dante being trained by the current Virgil to become his replacement Virgil.
So, are these like... Is there somebody in the story that's obsessed with Devil May Cry or the Divine Comedy?
I was about to say, you know the Devil May Cry is not the origin story here, right?
Of course I know that, but it's Virgil and Dante, they're fucking badass.
I mean, the whole thing is very Latin. The main saying of the book, I think it's...
Don't tell me it's Sic Parvis Magna, because I will shoot myself.
No, it's like Mors Omnia. It's on my new Fable band. I got a Ninth House Fable band, and it's on that. But in Latin, it means "death fucks us all." It's pretty great. No, it's very based in Latin. The
Mythos?
words are failing me. Yeah, I'm drinking. It's a problem.
You need to stop drinking while we're recording these.
I do. It's so tasty, though. Anyway, yes. Very Latin-heavy book.
Okay.
So, Divine Comedy, yes. Devil May Cry, no.
You break my heart.
I'm so sorry.
Just continue.
Alright, so I actually read this book around this time last year for a buddy read. And this year, I'm actually rereading it for another buddy read. Another fun fact, I almost DNF'd this book the first time around. Just because of some very triggering content. But I'm glad I powered through because it did wind up being one of my favorite books of 2019. Honestly, there are a lot of elements in this book that turn me off.
Like?
So the first one is literally in like the first 5 pages. Smacks you in the face. So one of the societies is performing a prognostication where they're essentially doing readings and predicting the future of things like the stock market by digging around in the intestines of a mental patient from a hospital down the street.
Didn't they do that in The Witcher
I
series?
didn't watch The Witcher.
Where I think they wanted to find somebody and they started digging inside a person's guts and the guts told them where the person was or something.
Sounds like something that would happen in The Witcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Witcher is very fucked up.
Yep, then they sew these poor people back up, take them back to the ward, and just tell them that they had to have emergency surgery when they woke up. But they're crazy, so they believe it. So this book is perfect for spooky season because of the ghosts and the possessions and the hellhounds. But like I said, there's also like that murder mystery aspect, and it's all centered around the occult and the paranormal. Why are you laughing at the hellhounds? Oh dear.
There's ghosts and hellhounds, and there are 4 nerds with proton packs running around the university.
Around Yale. Rory Gilmore! Run for your life! Oh god. So the pacing at the beginning is a little bit off, and it's kind of easy to get bored. But damn, when things pick up, they really pick up. And I was riveted for the last 3/4 of this book. I mean, I remember last year when it first came out, everybody was reading it because everybody's obsessed with the Grisha trilogy and the freaking Six of Crows books. I'm not a big fan of those. I don't really understand why people love them so much. And a lot of people DNF the crap out of this book because it is pretty boring for the first, like, I'd say the first, 50 pages. It's hard. But then it really picks up. It does end on a cliffhanger that is not so severe that you want to throw the book across the room. But it is one that leaves you ridiculously excited for more. And I'm ready. I'm very ready for the next one.
Is there any date or anything about?
Is there a date? I feel like there is. So unfortunately, Goodreads does not have a pub date. So that worries me a little bit. But hopefully by next year. Hopefully.
You think that after a book like this where everybody was obsessed with it, they won't make a sequel after leaving it at a cliffhanger?
I mean, it is set up to be at least a duology, if not more. I'm sure it's probably going to be more.
I mean, I feel like the only way they wouldn't make a sequel would be if
it didn't sell.
No, if the author died.
It's 2020. Don't put things like that out in the universe.
Is she old?
No.
Then we're good.
Oh, dear.
So anything else you want to say about the book?
No.
No? Nothing?
Yes.
Okay. So what is your score for the book?
So in my first read, I did give it 4.5 stars, mainly because of that triggering aspect and being a little bit disappointed with how the mystery aspect of the story turned out. But this time, likely because I knew how it was going to play out and could mentally prepare myself for the disturbing content, I gave it a solid 5 stars.
Interesting. Interesting. Very nice. All right. So I guess it is time for games and stuff. Imagine you get a job in a different city and you have questions about your first day. So you call your job repeatedly and nobody answers. Then you decide to drive to the city to see why they aren't picking up the phone. As soon as you arrive, you find out that the entire city has been overrun with the undead. You meet a biker chick who's looking for her brother. So you both decide to head for safety into the police station. This is where Leon S. Kennedy's story starts.
I would turn the fuck around and get in my bunker.
What if your bunker is...
I
don't know.
would turn the fuck around and get in my bunker.
Ain't no bunkers in Resident Evil, and if there are, they're filled with zombies.
I'd do something.
So Resident Evil 2 Remake is a survival horror game in which you play as either Leon S. Kennedy or Claire Redfield trying to escape Raccoon City after the entire city's population gets turned into zombies.
Wait, it's called Raccoon City?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh, dear.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
Uh-huh.
Whenever I say something video game related and you're surprised by it and you ask me about it in disbelief, and I confirm it to you, and then you have a reaction like you did just now, those are my favorite parts of this podcast. Because video games can be so fucking absurd.
It was like when I was so baffled by the whole Battle Chef Brigade. Which, by the way, Marla said it made her happy that we talked about that because she loves it.
She loves Battle Chef Brigade?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like Marla even more now. Nice. I thought me and Jorge were the only ones that loved that game.
No, apparently somebody else knows what it is.
Oh, shit, that game is so fucking good. It is awesome. So, Resident Evil 2 Remake was developed and published by Capcom.
There's a lot of P's there.
Fucking mouth is being stupid today. It was published by Capcom on January 25th, 2019 for the PS4, Xbox One, and Windows. It is a remake of the original Resident Evil 2 that was released for PlayStation 1, not Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1, I think Dreamcast and 64, maybe not Dreamcast, don't quote me. I played the PS4 version. I had played the original a few years ago. I never beat it. I thought it was kind of fun. But the data graphics took all the spook out of the game, and I hated the controls, and...
Oh, I was about to say, look at both of us revisiting favorites in this episode, and then you're like, but I hated everything.
I really didn't hate it. It just wasn't my type of game. It was a game of the times, and playing it now confirms it solidly.
There you go.
So this remake follows the same trend as all the recent remakes that have been released towards the latter half of this generation have. So it tells almost the exact same story as the original, but it takes a few deviations to add original cut content, retcon part of the story, so maybe some things that happen get completely taken out and replaced by new stuff that is actually the new canon. It takes sometimes a whole completely different turn at the end. Final Fantasy VII Remake did. I thought it was amazing. Some people are not happy about it, but this one sticks to the original story, but adds a few more story bits that were lacking in the original. It fleshes out a couple of characters too, which, it brings kind of a bit of fresh air to the original story and makes it so much better. It's a pretty fucking great game. I cannot say this enough. This game is fun. So glad I waited till the end. So the graphics in this game are phenomenal. They are incredibly detailed, extremely well polished, and in the zombies' cases, gruesome.
Yeah, I didn't watch the intro to this one, but I did walk in on bits and pieces, and it was pretty amazing to see how realistic the characters looked. Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah, the backgrounds, the lighting, and everything, it's all dark and so good.
Scary, but nice.
I particularly love the cutscenes in the game. When you see the attention to detail in the character's skin, I mean, you can see cuts, bruises, dirt. It really makes it seem like these characters have gone through some intense shit throughout this story. The zombies, like I said, are gruesome. From bones sticking out of their body to pieces of flesh missing from when they were bitten, or seeing their heads blown open is incredibly detailed.
No, thank you.
The animations are pretty fantastic. The humans are animated in a way that makes them look like they are real people in an animated environment, kind of like the Beowulf movie, the last one where Angelina Jolie was the demon.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
It wasn't that great.
Yeah.
It looked great at the time, but no, it kind of looks like shit. Where the animation is really fantastic is in the zombies. They shamble unlike any other zombie has in any other type of media. Their limbs slowly rise and drop instantly. Their hyper-extended jaws cause fear and panic when they lunge at you to take a chunk out of your flesh. They are fucking creepy.
And that's why I don't watch him with these. I can't handle it. When we had roommates, his PlayStation was in our bedroom, and he tried his best to, like, only play these in the middle of the night so that I wouldn't see it. Because...
And I would still have the volume really low and you could hear the zombies, and you would wiggle sometimes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, my gosh.
that was funny. So all of these details make these monsters seem extremely scary and believable. Their eyes are like whited out from them being dead, obviously, and it is so fucking great. In my opinion, the way that these zombies react to being shot is one of the most believable reactions I've ever seen in a video game. You can shoot their limbs off, and when you shoot them in the head, their head jerks in the direction that you hit the bullet with. Hit them with the bullet. Bullet hit them with. The bullets hit.
The bullet hit them.
The zombie in the head.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you hit them in the left jaw, their head will jerk in the direction that the bullet hit.
It moves with the bullet.
And so if the bullet hits in the left jaw, their head jerks to the right.
Wait. Okay. So the bullet's hitting me in the left. I would jerk this way?
To the left.
This way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but if I hit them in the chin,
backwards,
their head jerks backward.
Isn't that the way it's supposed to be?
Yes. Yes. So it's very realistic.
Oh, okay.
And in many cases, with a really well-placed shot, like one from underneath, lower in the chin, their head just explodes like a cantaloupe.
No, thank you.
It is very gory, and it is so detailed. It is crazy. For the sound design, I don't remember there being any music in the game, which honestly doesn't take anything away from the great sound design this game has. The voice acting for the humans in the game is, again, unlike anything I've ever heard before. They yell at the zombies as they're shooting them, and it sounds like if there was another person in the room with them whenever they talk in gameplay. So if you see a zombie coming towards you and you start shooting, it happened to me a couple of times where Claire's like, "You son of a bitch!" or "Die, motherfucker!" And I'm like, "Is it?" Oh, it was Claire.
Oh my goodness.
The voice acting is so clear and natural in the game that it causes a bit of dissonance between the characters and the listener. So when you're watching a cutscene, you see them talking, and it's so clear and so natural that it doesn't even feel like it's a video game sometimes. Sometimes it feels like you're either watching TV or something. It doesn't sound really scripted. It sounds very natural, which I love that about it. Now, the zombies moan and growl in a very menacing way, so that as soon as you enter a room and you hear one, it puts you on edge, making you frantically search the room so that you can find the zombie and put the motherfucker down. Because they might be zombies, but I don't think I've ever seen zombies being made this way like they have in this game. And the one sound that I fucking hate the most is whenever Mr. X is walking nearby or chasing you, and you can hear him stomping down the hall, his fucking footsteps.
That's like stuff of my nightmares. Nightmare fuel.
And Mr. X isn't really scary because he's just a giant dude in a trench coat. It's just the feeling of being chased is a fucking nightmare. I hate that feeling of being chased and having to run away from somebody constantly. But that works. It puts you on tension, and, you know, he'll beat the shit out of you if he catches you. So stay the fuck away from Mr. X. So the gameplay, like I said, is a third-person shooter, just like Resident Evil 4. And like The Evil Within, it has a few quality of life improvements that make it a bit more streamlined, brings it up to par to current-gen third-person shooters. These improvements are so well balanced that they don't make the game any easier. So, you know how I said I hated to be able to walk and shoot at the same time? In this game you can do that, but your aiming reticle, instead of staying closed and small, it widens up. So you can be pointing at the zombie's head and shooting, but your bullets are going to miss. So, yeah, it balances it out that way. So you can actually move and fight, but it does it so in a way that, you know, it's really worth to move. There are limited resources that you can fight throughout your experience, but that doesn't mean that you can carry them all at once, because your inventory is limited. Originally, you have 8 inventory slots that accommodate your weapons, bullets, and healing items, but you also need to put important items in the list so that you can solve the many puzzles the game has. One of the cool things about this is that there are some keys that you have to find to get into some doors. Those keys, once you open all the doors that you had to open with them keys, a little check mark appears. So you can get rid of this item. You don't need to carry it anymore. It does that with a lot of different multi-use items. So, you know, maybe a vial, or, like I said, keys, or a crank. You know, that checks off so that, you know, just put it back in the inventory box. You got your inventory space back free. So I really like that, because the original didn't have that. You can expand your inventory by finding satchels throughout the game, which increases the maximum number of spots to a maximum of 16. So this game basically boils down to kill zombies, make good decisions, and solve puzzles. Also, stay alive if you can. The problems with this game? I have no problems with this game.
That's awesome.
I have absolutely no problems with this game. The praise is, this game is exactly what I want from horror. I want some gore that doesn't rely on shock to instill fear. I would hate jump scares, and this game doesn't have any jump scares. I love the tense atmosphere, the limited resources, and the very scary, threatening monsters.
No, thank you.
I love the fact that you can upgrade your weapons with new weapon parts that you find throughout the game. I love how tense the game can be, and I love how this game adapts to your playstyle. It has a feature where if you have limited ammo and healing items, it nerfs the boss battles so that you can beat them with whatever you have. So if you have 10 bullets, a stun grenade, and whatever, it'll take exactly 1 stun grenade and 10 bullets to kill him. But you have to make your shots count. Otherwise, he'll beat your ass.
You couldn't play it like me, where I just press the buttons over and over and over and hope that I don't die.
No. They will smash you into a pulp.
Damn.
I love that you can beat the game the first time, and then you can play it immediately again with the other character that you didn't choose, and you will get a different ending with that other character. And
That's
then cool. A new game 2 unlocks. So there's new game 2, and then there's your continue. So you can start a new game 2, and new game 2, let's say if you started with Leon and then you played with Claire, you can start with Claire and continue with Leon and new game 2. So that way you can get the other 2 extra endings that the game has. If you complete the game, you can unlock a few weapons that have infinite ammo. You can also purchase a key online that will unlock everything from the start. This key costs about $5. So you get everything. You get the infinite launcher, the infinite handgun, machine gun, and infinite railgun. I purchased this key as soon as they made it available last year. So while I was playing it, halfway through the second Claire campaign run through, I got sick and tired of having to manage my inventory. So I just equipped the infinite rocket launcher and started to beat some zombie ass with it. This took out all the tension from the game, but it made it hilarious. You see one lowly zombie shambling towards you, and then he gets a mouthful of rocket. It's fucking funny. It was awesome. The game's trying to scare you, and you just have this overpowered weapon that'll turn anybody's ass inside out. So Leon. Our boy Leon, that you didn't believe me had Nick Carter's haircut. He is terrified this entire game.
I would be too. There's something wrong with you if you're not.
It's his first day on the job as a police officer.
Does he even actually get the job? If
he
like
had
nobody's
the job.
answering the phone.
So he got to the police station.
Is he getting paid for all this shit?
No, of course not. So he gets to the police station. There's a cop there called Marvin. He's been all fucked up by the zombies. And Marvin tells him, get into your uniform. So Leon gets into his cop uniform. So at least he managed to get to wear the uniform on his first day.
There you go.
And he is terrified the entire time. He's scared. He doesn't know what to do. But he is still Leon, so he still cracks a few one-liners. My favorite one is that he's being chased through the sewers by a giant alligator. He goes down a slide. When he lands in the bottom, he sees the giant alligator, falls, and gets caught in some gas pipes and is biting one, trying to get free. So Leon points his gun at the gas pipe, shoots it, it blows the gator's head off, and then he goes, chew on that!
Is this Florida?
No, it's Raccoon City. It's in the north.
Is Leon Florida man?
He might as well be with all the fucking crazy shit that has happened in his life.
Raccoon, Florida.
Raccoon City, Florida.
Raccoon City, Florida. It sounds like a real place.
Yeah, it sounds like it should be somewhere near Daytona, right?
Oh, God. White Trash Central.
Well, all these zombies kind of act like crackheads, so.
It's a perfect place for Florida man to rise up.
So this is the game that made Leon into a Resident Evil fan favorite. They just took him in 4 and ran with it, made him this expert agent in fighting bioweapons. And honestly, as much as I like Resident Evil 4, as much as it's such a near and dear game to my heart, Resident Evil 2 Remake gives it a run for its money. It might be short, it might be way scarier, but everything it does perfectly.
Even though it was so bad the first time?
It wasn't so bad the first time. I just didn't know what was going to happen or what was going on.
Yeah.
So, you're going into something completely blind. So, or are you talking about the original game?
The original.
Oh, yeah. No.
I was like, you're singing a different tune than you were earlier.
No. The original, it's rough. By today's standards, it's rough. So, this game to me feels like what next gen should be. You look at it, it looks beautiful. All the cutscenes look exactly like the promotional material did. And it's something that zombie fans, horror fans, and video game fans alike should experience. So, I give this game 5 stars.
Nice.
It wouldn't be fair to do otherwise. So, do you know what time it is?
It's time for Give Me the Garbage.
All right, this is Give Me the Garbage.
This week's restaurant is Willie's Pinchos in Orlando, Florida. I would first like to start by saying that I am so upset that Guy Fieri was so close to our apartment, but we didn't even live here at the time or know he was in town. Sad day. Sad day.
I think it was a while ago that he was here.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think it might have been before we even met.
I know. We should look that up. See when it happened.
Yeah, we should.
Not right now. That's fine.
We should.
So yes, Willie's Pinchos has been featured on our beloved Triple D, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. And I have to wonder what it must be like to be a designated resident of Flavor Town.
It's gotta be awesome.
I know, right?
It's gotta be so cool.
They have all this Guy memorabilia all over the place. Like, Guy Fieri was here, and...
I love it.
I do, too. So, the food. I had the Pinchos and Mofongo, and Chris had the carne frita and Mofongo. I'm really bad at rolling my R's. So, the chicken, the Pinchos are chicken, in case you're like me and didn't know what they were.
Yeah, usually
Before that.
Pinchos in Puerto Rico are either pork or chicken. For the pork, they use the same meat they use for the carne frita. For the chicken, well, they use chicken breast chunks or chicken thigh chunks. I prefer chicken thigh chunks.
So my chicken was cooked to absolute perfection. I'm honestly not sure that I have ever in my life had chicken cooked this well. I am 100% serious. I mean, it just fell apart in my mouth, and it was the perfect cut of bird. Bless it. My only complaint when it came to the Pinchos was the sauce and seasoning. Personally, I am not a fan of barbecue chicken, and the sauce was some sort of barbecue sauce.
It's a barbecue chicken pincho. So,
but I didn't realize it was a barbecue chicken pincho when I ordered it.
Yeah, that was my bad. I should have told you.
Shame.
But yeah, no, I think the sauce was really good. The one thing I didn't like about it was the seasoning they used. I'm pretty sure the seasoning has a smoked
like that
component.
fake smoke flavor. Yeah.
It just tasted like that.
Yeah, it was.
It was kind of a little bit overpowering, but
it was very off-putting. But
yeah.
the meat was so good. I still ate it.
Yeah, no. The chicken was cooked perfectly.
I mean,
the barbecue sauce was great. It was just that
amazing.
one little speck.
But that mofongo, oh my god. It is so buttery and crunchy and soft and flavorful and solid, but also crumbly all at the same time. One more complaint. I'm so sorry. I have to do it. We need more mayo ketchup. I have been to churches that serve communion wine in cups bigger than the fucking cup they gave us the mayo ketchup in. It was the teeniest, tiniest. I mean, the girl immediately brought it to the table, and Chris is like, "We need more mayo ketchup." And she brings us out another teeny tiny little container.
I was going to say, we need more mayo ketchup.
Yeah, we need like the bottle. Come on.
But yeah, that mofongo, oh my god, that mofongo, it is amazing.
I feel like you've taken me to several places, and we've had it so many different ways, and that is the best mofongo.
So for people that don't know, mofongo is fried plantain mashed in a mortar with garlic, butter, and some type of pork. It's usually either bacon or chicharrón.
What's that?
Pork rinds.
Oh.
Yeah, Chimmy King's does it with the pork rinds.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't really like it that way. I like it with the bacon. It is served usually with a side of chicken stock so that you can dip your mofongo into it to keep it moist.
This one didn't need it at all.
It really didn't need it because this mofongo is so moist and delicious that you don't really need anything else to wash it down with. Well, mayo ketchup for the flavor.
Right. Nothing to wash it down, though.
I don't know what type of butter they use for it, but this butter is so creamy and flavorful. It just makes the mofongo itself creamy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it. It is so...
It's perfect. Ugh. It's perfect.
God, I wish I had some mofongo right now.
Because it's soft and creamy, but like... Once again, if you don't know what mofongo is, like, it's served in... It's like in a mold shape. It's like...
Yes, it's from the mortar.
Yeah. But it maintains that shape so perfectly. Even though it's...
Yeah, because they beat the shit out of it in there.
I know. It's just so soft and creamy. You would think that it would start to collapse.
No.
Oh, God, it's so good.
That's how compacted it is in there. So, I've eaten mofongo my entire life. You know, being from Puerto Rico.
I've eaten mofongo for the last 3 years.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of the Puerto Rican staple foods. If you don't like mofongo, you're really not Puerto Rican.
I had no idea what it was before meeting him at all.
I've never had mofongo this delicious before. Ever.
Like, not even from a grandmother? No.
No. No, my mom tried to make it once. She fried it twice, and it was too hard.
Oh, bless her heart.
So we couldn't eat it because it was too hard. Because the thing is, when you have plantains, you fry them once. If you fry them again, they're basically a tostón.
Those are good too, though.
Tostones are delicious, but you don't want a mofongo with the consistency of a tostón.
You do not. You cannot eat it the same way.
No, it does not work that way.
Can you imagine just picking up that whole mold and like trying to bite into it? No.
Yeah, I've done it. It doesn't work. It hurts.
Oh no.
So, carne frita, which is what I have with my mofongo, it's basically adobo seasoned lard fried pork chunks served with grilled onions.
That sounds disgusting.
So, instead of frying it in oil, they fry it in lard and they season it with adobo, usually Goya.
It's so healthy.
Because I don't know why Cubans and Dominicans call that adobo pork, but that's not the adobo that we Puerto Ricans use. So it's still delicious, but it just feels weird when you say it's adobo pork. I'm like, okay, where's the Goya? Like, motherfucker, you lied to me. I love carne frita so much. I love having it with a side of homemade hot sauce. But if you don't have any homemade hot sauce, Frank's Red Hot will do. It'll just accentuate the flavors of that adobo, and it just boosts the whole thing up, and it is so good, and you just want to drink the sauce while you inhale that carne frita. And let's go to Willie's right now.
It was very tasty, but I find it hard to eat. I don't know. It's just kind of tough to me.
Yeah, because it's fried pork.
Yeah.
It dries out a bit, and it gets kind of chewy.
But very tasty.
It is delicious. You should have the one my dad makes.
Really?
So he leaves a layer of fat on it.
Mm-hmm. I don't like fat.
But when he throws it in the lard to fry, he throws water into the lard.
Mm-hmm.
That makes the fat crunch up. So you get a thick, crunchy layer, and then carne frita underneath.
I can deal with that.
It is amazing.
It sounds really good.
Yeah. So yeah, they gave us mofongo, they gave us toast with it, and they gave us little lettuce and tomato.
This bitch tried to steal my last piece of toast. I was just sitting there saving it, and he literally reached across the table, snatched it up. I had to smack him.
I thought you were done with your food.
I was not done. I was waiting for it. I like to savor. You like to inhale. I like to pace myself so that I can truly enjoy the whole experience.
I was eating a little bit of everything throughout the entire meal, trying to savor everything and make it last as much as possible.
We proved that we're fatties because neither one of us touched the salad.
I did. I ate
did?
all of it. Of course I did.
I thought you left it there. I didn't touch my salad.
With all that grease, of course you need the salad.
Yeah, but I didn't have as much grease as you did because the chicken wasn't greasy.
It was just a mofongo.
Yeah.
So, you know what I just noticed we forgot to do when we were writing the script?
What?
We didn't give Willie's a rating.
Oh, it's because we knew what we were going to say.
What are we going to say?
We're going to say it's garbage.
It is garbage.
I mean, okay, personally, like I said, I was not a huge fan of the flavors of the chicken, but it was still amazing that I cannot say it was anything less than acceptable. But that mofongo alone...
Just the mofongo alone is
you
enough.
You can't give it anything less than garbage.
Yeah, it's enough to carry the whole thing. And we have had some of their other stuff before. We had
last time we went
fries.
crazy and ordered every fucking thing on the menu except the hot dogs.
I spent like $50
on lunch.
It was worth it.
It was too much money.
It was worth it.
Okay.
It was so delicious.
It was a long time ago.
So they have these French fries with cheese and sour cream. And the tripleta sauce, and they're covered in steak and ham and all this amazing, delicious stuff. They're called papas loca. They're so worth it. If you're in Puerto Rico, if you're in Orlando, go to Willie's Pinchos.
How are they going to go if they're in Puerto Rico?
There's one in Puerto Rico.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's the same guy?
Same guy.
It tastes the same?
It's the same thing.
Because he's not there cooking it. He's here. He came out and talked to us.
That wasn't Willie.
I thought that was Willie.
Was it Willie?
Yeah, he's definitely the person who was in the photos with Guy. and in the video clip with Guy. So if that's not Willie, Willie got gypped. You tell me Guy Fieri's coming to my restaurant, I will hop on a plane that minute.
Of course.
And get my ass there.
You want to tell him what he said when he came out to talk to us?
Oh my gosh. So he just randomly, and plus I'm pretty sure, like, I saw his pictures online or something that said owner. Anyway, so he comes to the table and asks us if everything was tasty. We're like, yeah, it was awesome. And then he asked us if we were there from TikTok. And we were just like, what?
We're not
I mean, we were so taken aback. I'm obsessed with TikTok out of the blue, but we are not TikTokers.
We're barely podcasters.
I am thinking about expanding into book talk, but I haven't done it yet. Marla keeps telling me I should do it.
Well,
I keep putting it off.
You already have book talk on this podcast.
But I can have book talk,
Talk.
and book talk. But it was so random. So I guess they probably got featured on like places to eat in Orlando. Because that is a little I want to call it like a subreddit of TikTok.
A sub-talk.
Yeah, sub-talk.
Yeah, he has a year from TikTok. I was like, no.
So I'm assuming they've had like a surge in business because of something that somebody put on TikTok. I meant to look it up and I never did.
It's cool. Hopefully we have listeners that'll go there and he'll be like, are you from a novel console?
Right?
Are you from the podcast?
Because we both, as he asked that, like thought to ourselves, no, we should say that we're here to review it for a podcast, but we didn't. Because we're stupid.
It's fine.
It is.
Maybe he'll recognize us.
Maybe.
Next time.
Maybe he'll make bigger containers of mayo ketchup. It's okay, dude. We understand. But damn, it's really tiny.
Next time we go, he gives us a trash can lid filled with mayo ketchup. He's like, is this enough for you motherfuckers? Get the fuck out of my restaurant.
Oh, gosh. But seriously, go. If you ask for extra mayo ketchup, they'll give it to you.
They'll give it to you. Make sure you ask for the hot sauce, like carne frita, and if you can, get the chillo. It is amazing.
What's that?
As the red snapper, the fried red snapper.
Oh.
That whole fish is $21, but holy shit, it is delicious.
You've had that? When? Before we met?
Yes.
Oh.
That's so fucking good. God, I love fish. Let's go to Willie's.
It's only 9:54 p.m. on a Tuesday night. I'm sure they're still open.
And you have to go to Georgia tomorrow, and we have to go vote tomorrow.
I still have to pack for the wedding. Yes, we have to go vote. Please go vote. If you haven't voted, yeah. Words sound wrong right now. Go vote.
We're tired.
Tuesday's the big day. You should be listening to this prior to Tuesday. Go vote. Go vote for the moron of your choice, but vote.
Yes,
We're not going to tell you who to vote for.
But vote.
Exercise your right as an American citizen. If you're not an American citizen, pray for us, please. Pray
We're going to lose anyways. We always lose.
Oh, God. No, we don't always lose. We won 8 years ago. God.
All right, so Willie's, Pinchos, Gorbage, go visit them. Amazing food in Orlando, amazing food in Puerto Rico. So let's go into some housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said at the top of the episode, our Patreon is live. Please go subscribe. I said it again.
Subscribe.
Please go subscribe and support us that way. You'll find the link in the show notes. We currently have 4 patrons. So these 4 patrons decided to support us, and we really appreciate that. Like I said, the money from the Patreon is going to go towards shipping books and games to you guys. Remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at anovelconsole, and don't forget, you can also tell your friends that they can find the podcast on most major podcast streaming apps.
Except Pandora.
That's true. Pandora still hasn't gotten us. And they can also listen on YouTube by searching for A Novel Console. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. You should also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts so more people can find us and listen, and we can get this community growing. You can also email us at anovelconsole@gmail.com, and we will read your email on the show. And our art was done by Metamorphic on Instagram, so go give her a follow. And with that, we ended this hellish horror month. It was interesting. I had fun.
I had fun too, but I'm glad it's over.
Good. So, are you ready to say goodbye, Karradyne?
Goodbye, Karradyne, unmarried woman.
And when we come back, you will be married. Goodbye, everyone.